Hello friends, so today we will going to cover about the exercises which are related to SAP Web Intelligence Unit 2, which is restricting the data queries, is how we can restrict the data from the queries. So I will be in this video description you will find the link of that earlier video. I suggest you go to that video first. You will understand the concepts about the data restrictions. And now in this video, I'll going to get then exercises related to that concepts. So let's start with the query filters. Means you all know means what is query filters. So there are many query filters like uh, single value query filter, multi-value query filter, then prompted query filters, and then last one is complex filters. These are the four query filters that are available in the SAP Web Intelligence query. So let's start. Means we will take one by one. To start with, means let's take a means how we can create a new report. Just click on this icon. You will get a screen, create a document. Means we can select a data source, which data source we can will need. So I'll select a universe, and out of this means I'll just take one of the sample universe, which is e-fashion or everyday universe, which will be used for our testing purpose. Now see, means once we select the universe, we'll get a screen of this query panel. Means this is the query panel where we will select the objects which are required for our report to display. So let's take, means I'll take year. So how I did it, I just double clicked here. It will appear in a results object. So and there is one more. Let's take, means I wanted to take a state. So I can just drag these objects from here to the results objects panel. So this is a results objects panel. You will see the second panel is query filters. The last one is the data preview. Means we can preview the data of our query. On left side is the universe outline, which will show up the universe and their objects which are available. Let's take a measure as well. One of the measure from this sales revenue. So let's run it. Means I'll just run this query. I am not adding any filters for now on this report. So let us see. So this is the report which got created once I selected this object: year, state, and sales revenue. Now I wanted to add a filter on a state condition, state dimension. If I say, then I can go to edit. So now let's see, means I wanted to add a state filter on state. Let's say, means I just wanted to add a single value query filter. So this is a filter added. Means this first one is object, state is an object. The second one, which is these are the operators, and the third one is operand. Means this is nothing but a components of the query filter: object, operator, and operand. So let's take an from this. Means if I click on this, I'll get an option. Means whether I want to constant value or values from list or prompt or objects from this query. So let's take an values from list. I just want one of the, let's say, means I just wanted to value for Florida. I'll just click on OK. So this is the filter, which is nothing but a single value query filter. So which means when I'll run this report, I should get the data for Florida. So we have restricted the query to get the data for only Florida. So you'll see, I can see this is Florida. So this is a single value query filter. Let me go back in data access. Okay, so if I wanted to make it a multi-value query filter, so how I can make it? So I'll click on this equal to this operators list. Means from this I can go to in list, and let's see, means I just wanted to select. So Florida is the one value. I'll just remove it for now. Let's say, means I wanted to add New York, Texas, and let's say Colorado. Okay, so these three states I wanted to filter out. So if you see, state is in list New York, Texas, and Colorado, which is nothing but multi-value. Means in a operand field, when we are specifying more than one value, it becomes a multi-value. If that is only single value, then it is a single value query filter. Okay, so let me run it. I'll just click on run query. So now if you see, this has been changed. New York, Texas, and Colorado. This for these three states, I filter the data. So this becomes a multi-value query filter. Okay. So one more thing, let's take means I will what I'll do. I'll just delete this filter for now. Means to delete means what we can do is see on this right side of the query filter there is option remove and remove all. Means if there are more than one filter, then we can remove all, or we can just click on this remove. So now this is the filter has been removed. I just run it, so it will give the data for all the states. Okay, so this is fine. This becomes single value and multi-value query filter. So let me save this. Okay, so I will go to the next point, which is related to um, let me create a new report here. I'll click on this. Let me take an inverse. I will show you means how we can use between operator. So let me take one of the universe, which is Island Resource Marketing. I'll just select it. Okay, so this is the query panel which got open for Island Resource Marketing, and it will show the different folders and their respective objects available here. So let me take means I'll just take this salesperson, and I'll take one more. Let's see means I wanted to take a sales revenue. So if I run this query, I should get an okay. So these are the salesperson and their respective sales revenue. So now if I go to the data access and click on edit, now I wanted to filter out on some of the dates. Means if I wanted to get a margin based on some of the date range. So what I can do, I'll go to this. I'll just take this invoice date object from here, and let's see means from this means I just wanted to add a between operator. Okay, so let's take means this is an example. Let me take so there is okay, 1st April 2011 to, let's take, so it should be November 30 or something. Let me take. Okay, for this date range means if you see means invoice date is between this is a start date, which is April 1st, and this is the end date, which is nothing but November 30. So what I'll do, I'll just click on run query. See, now the figures got changed. Earlier it was more numbers here than what it is showing now. Okay, so this is the way means we can apply between operator uh, or range parameter means what we want to display. Okay, so, okay, let me save this. Okay, this is saving. Then I'll close this now. Now what I'll go, I'll again go to so I hope you must have understood about the single value filter and multi-value filter, and then I just shown you about how to apply the between operator. Now what I can do, I'll just go back and I'll create a new report once again. Means I'll select universe. From there I will select, let's say, e-fashion universe. So now I will show you means how we can apply a pattern matching. Means wildcards, you must be aware, means there are wildcards like percentage and underscore. There are two objects. Okay, let's see, means state and let me add year as well here. Okay, so if I run this query, so it will give the data for everything. Means let's see, means I wanted to filter out on some of, I don't know the means exact name or of the state. So maybe I can, what I can do, um, I can use wildcards to matches the pattern. So let's see, means to apply the pattern matching, means there are two operators which is matches pattern and different from pattern. So matches pattern, so what I can do, I can just type as, so let's see, means I wanted to display the data for the state which are starting from new, and I'll put percentage symbol there. Now if I run this, see, means now it will give the data for New York. Okay, so this is the wildcards, means percentage of the wildcard. Let me add one more. Let's see, means I wanted to use underscore, like see, means the string which is starting from T, and let's see, means I am using underscore, and so any string between T and X, any character. So whatever the characters, means then that data should be displayed here. So let me run it. See, now it is showing the Texas data. So these are the two wildcards which are used or which are available in SAP Web Intelligence tool, that is percentage and underscore. So I hope you must have understood this. Let me go back and let me save this file first. Okay, now the next section I will show you about the complex filters. So there are complex filters. What do you mean by complex filter? So in complex filter, uh, there are situations where we need to apply more than one filter in a report. So that becomes a complex filter. So let me go back. I'll just create a new report with the e-fashion universe. Okay, so let's see. Let's take means let's take year, then store name. Let's take quantity sold, and let's sales revenue as well. Okay, so this is the objects. Let me run this query. Means it should display the data. Means if we see year, store name, and quantity source and revenue. So now if I go back and I will edit the query. So if I want to add a filter, like let's see, means I am adding a filter for margin. So margin is less than, let's say, 10,000. And if I run this query, okay, there is no data. Mm, let me go back. I will add a greater than 10,000. So see means whatever the margin it is, it will show the data for which has margin greater than. Now let me go back. Means this is one filter. I wanted to add one more filter. Let's see means I wanted to add a sales revenue. So what I can do, I can just drag this measure from the objects list to this query filter. So now as soon as I added the sales revenue, you will see this AND operator got added. So I can change this. Let's see means I wanted to add a greater than or equal to some operator, and let's see means I will add 20,000. So now if I say click on run query, so it is showing means whatever the sales revenue is greater than 20,000 and like that. So greater than or equal to, or margin is greater than 10,000. So let's see, I'll add 40,000 or 4 lakh. Okay, I'll just click on run query. Now see means the row which is showing here. Okay, so this is the it will show the revenue more than 20,000 and margin is greater than 10,000. So this is a complex filter where margin and sales revenue got these are the two filters, and they are combining. If the first filter condition gets true and then second also gets true, then only the data will be written. If I make this, if I click on this, it will become OR. So in OR condition, either of these conditions should be met. So if the second condition is not meeting the criteria, then also it is fine. If any of this condition is meeting the criteria whatever it is required, then also it will fine. But in case of AND, both of these conditions should match to retrieve the data. So in such like this means we can add other filters as well. Sorry. Okay, so okay, so this is complex filter. So now what I can do, let me show you this. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the video means this is the concept of the complex filters. Means we can add one or more query filters to the report. So if you are adding, then we need to add and or operator there. Now the last complex filter, last type of filter which is remaining, which let's see, means I'll just close this. I will not save it for now. I'll create it new report like MEOS. Then let's take E fashion. Let's take here and then state. Let's take sales revenue. Okay. So these three objects I have taken means so to add a prompted filter, so what we can do means let's see means I want users to enter their state name to get the results. So what I can do means I'll just say means equal to operator, and I'll say from here means if you see it is not constant, it is values from list, it is not. To add a prompt means we need to click on this. So once we click on this, we will see this operation means we can enter this test. Please enter state name like this. This is the prompt text which will users will able to see. once they run the report. This is prompt with the list of values. So this is one option which will prompt when the users will run the report. Then keep last value selected. I'll show you means how this works. Let me click on OK, and I'll just click on run query. So now when we run query, you see means this is a prompt input parameter, which is asking for please enter the state name. So let's say means I wanted to add a state name for Florida. See, now one more thing is if I refresh this, see, last time whatever the values we selected, it came here. Let me take means I wanted to add a New York here now, and if you see the star to the report parameter, it does mean that it is a mandatory field. Means it is not an optional. If you want to make it optional, I will show you means how we can make it an optional. Let me run this. Okay, so now it will show you New York's data. Now go back to edit option. Now let's go back to the report parameter properties. See means prompt with the list of values. So if I unselect this and I click on this, I'll just show you means what happens. Okay, so see, now we are not getting the list which is available there. So it is not prompting me with the list of values which is available. I need to manually add it. Let's see means I am adding a Florida, so it will give the data. Okay, so this is one option. Let me go back. I'll just edit the queries. Let me go back to the parameter properties. I'll keep this. Now if you see keep last value selected, so whenever any user refreshes the report, it will show the parameter will show the last values which was selected. So in our case, uh, I was having these values, keep last value selected. So now if I run query, see means if this is a Florida option which I last time selected. Now let's see means I'll just taking a DC option here and I'm just running this. See for DC. So now if I again refresh this report, I will see the selected value as a DC. So this is for just for reference means of someone who just wanted to run for previous values. So for that purpose we can use it, but we can remove that option as well. Means let's see means if I go back to the parameter properties, I can uncheck this option and click on OK. So now if I run query, I will not get the values which was last time selected. Let me run this for Florida. Okay, so this is getting again. I'm just refreshing it again. So you will not see the selected value, last value selected. Okay, so this is keep last value selected option. Okay, so I'm just going back. I'll just keep this option. Select only from list. What this will do? This will not allow users to enter the values. It will just, it has to be enter or selected from that particular list of values. So how it works? Let me run this query. See, now I do not see that option means to enter the values here. I cannot. See, refresh. I'm just running. Now how it works? Now how it works? Let me go back to the parameter for properties. See, means if I uncheck this and just run this query, you see type a value. Here I can type any value. Let's see means I wanted to add a text and you can run it. But okay, so it does not have value. It is fine. I'll go back. So this is select only from list and optional param prompt, which is nothing but we can make it a optional prompt and users can directly run the report without entering the details. Let me run this query. see now if you see means the star option which was here earlier, it gone. So I can remove this and I can just directly run it. Okay, so if I click uncheck this option and if I run this, and let's say I'm not entering any value, it will not allow. See means it, because of the star means it is saying that it it should have at least one value, then only this OK will be enabled. Okay, so this is one more thing. Let me take another. This is the way means yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you means if I go to the parameter properties, I can set a default values means when this run. So let me I'll just uncheck this and I wanted to have these values. This is Delhi, this is Mumbai. Okay, so these are the values which I set means if I run this query, see by default this value got added is Mumbai. Okay, so there is no data actually for Mumbai. So this also means we can add a default values. Let's see, means I added this. Okay, so see means this out of these values also we can select any of the values which I wanted to display as a filter as a default value. See means default it is taking as whatever the values I have mentioned there. Okay, so one more last point remaining in this query filters is suppose I wanted to add one more filter here as a state. So and I will add a English and I'll add a so these two are the prompts which are I'm just adding. So if I run this query, it will add let's see Miss Florida I'll selecting. For city also I am selecting this. Okay, that is fine miss if I am not getting a data, but what I wanted to show you that, you go back. So there is a parameter properties option here means if you query properties, if I click on this, we can give the order means in which order for on first which parameter should it be. Suppose I wanted to add a city as a first parameter and second, then that prompt order we can specify. That prioritization means will be decided based on the business conditions means, or business requirement, what business needed. So that way we can specify here. Okay, so let me remove this. See means if you see this is the filters means I wanted to remove and I'll just click on run query. Okay, so this is a types of query filter. We learn about the single value query filter, multi-value query filter, and then complex filter and prompt order filters. Okay, so these are the four types of query filters we must be understood related to the SAP Web Intelligence course. So I hope you must have cleared about these topics, and if you like my video, then you can just please subscribe to my video. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.